Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? Mercy sakes, we got the thing going and trying to get the screen to calm down. I got stuff bouncing all over the place here like a rubber ball. Woo-wee! Good to have everybody out there. My goodness, we got a crew here started already. I'm going to back up to the top of this. We had JSRFRTN Gaming Channel in the house. Basic Bible Study for a Deeper Understanding of God's Word is in the house. Awesome Wood Things, that's Matt. He's in the house. Lulu Love You is in the house. Let's see. Scroll down here a little bit further. We got Jimbo 5312 in the house. Glad you're in there. Shelly Carlson is in the house. People strolling in here. Good to have everybody coming into the house tonight. My goodness, I hope everybody has had a great weekend and that you got a lot accomplished over the weekend. I know I did. I got Technic Beats playing here in the background. Matt, you'll be my sound man tonight. We got sounded pretty good, or do I need to tweak anything? I haven't changed the settings since last week, so everything should be sounding pretty good. We got Alifashawi in the mix in the house. I hope I came close to pronouncing that correctly. It is me, Brian, is in the house. Good to have you in there, Brian. Benny Loco is in the house. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to have you with us this evening. Okay, Matt says the sound is perfect. Cool. Because I didn't mess with nothing since last week. I can't promise that I won't mess with it before next week, but I try to at least remember where I left things if I have to change them, and that way I can put them back. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be doing some changes to the channel here in the next, well, hopefully within the next week. I'm trying to learn how to use some editing software so I can make some more changes, but hey, all things a good time, you know. But I'm going to be adding a couple, maybe a few segments, but one of the segments that some of the ladies and I have been discussing is I'm going to be doing a segment, and I don't know how often I'll do it, but I'm going to put it up on the channel, and it's going to be called, And That's Why I'm Single. So, I think you'll all enjoy that. The crafting stuff, I'm probably going to be doing mainly for Patreon. I'll do some here on YouTube, or at least do the introductions to what I'm doing on Patreon. And, show you, if you want to watch the tutorials, you can go to Patreon for $1 a month. You can see everything that I put up over there. And if I can learn how to use the editing software, I think I'll put some of my little ditties that I sing up for your amusement. And I may do some live stream panels. You know, if I get people that's interested in being on a panel, I may do, more than just my Monday night live stream. Sometime through the week, gather some folks up, and we'll have a panel and have some fun. So, those are some of the things that I have in store coming up. Everybody, bust up and bust down and meet everybody, support everybody. Great people that come here to my house to meet up and see what kind of crazy thing I'm going to do next. Because you just never know. Lulu's going to be a guest on my show, she says. Good. Be glad to have you on there. The Egyptian Gamer Geek is in the house. Glad to have you in there. Mercy. Everybody's strolling in here. Yeah, bust it to the left and bust it to the right. Well, hey to you. Glad you stopped in. We got Magic 8 Ball here tonight. Magic 8 Ball has been warming up here to answer your questions. So if you got questions for the Magic 8 Ball, put them out there, and we'll talk Magic 8 Ball. It has to be like a yes or no type question, because Magic 8 Ball doesn't have a whole lot of room there on the screen to give us an answer. So you ask a question and we'll put it to the Magic 8 Ball and see what it's got to say about it. Azure Muse is in the house. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you stopped in. Yep, Matt says Magic 8 Ball's 11 for 11 on the questions that he's asked. It's never wrong. So there you go. The only time it's wrong is with Scott with Corkboard TV. It don't like Scott. I think it's trying to lead Scott down a path is what it's trying to do. Scott is not on the same frequency as the Magic 8 Ball. Julian B is in the house. Good to have you in there. Thanks for stopping in this evening. We'll do a little trivia. I've got the trivia cards out, but you know, I was thinking, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We're going to talk about old-time TV shows. And when I say old-time, I remember shows probably y'all don't remember, but you can talk about shows that you remember as well, you know, things that aren't on the TV anymore or on the oldies channels. You know, there's all kinds of old TV shows out there, you know, we can rack our brain and talk about some of those things that we used to watch that we miss watching on TV. The stuff they have on TV now ain't nothing like the old things that we used to watch. Oh, Brian wants to know, it is me, Brian wants to know, a Magic 8 Ball. He needs to know if his house is going to sell next month. Will his house sell next month? Magic 8 Ball, tell me, tell me. And the Magic 8 Ball says, yes, definitely. There you go, Brian. Yes, definitely is what it says on here. So there you go. The answer from the Magic 8 Ball. Okay, Benny Loco's going to leave, but it was good to have you stop in. I'm glad you stopped in. Matt wants to know from the Magic 8 Ball, will I finish my whirligig project before July 31st deadline? Matt wants to know, will he finish his whirligig project before the July 31st deadline? Magic 8 Ball, what do you say? His sources say no. Uh-oh, Matt. If you're gonna get that project done, you best get a wiggle in it. You've only got 14 days, 15 days. Man, you're pushing it close. I wish I could get in on that, but I don't have the power equipment and stuff to be able to do the things y'all do. So, that'll be put on the back burner until someday that the gods of the power tools wants to smile on me and get me in where I can do that. I mean, you know, hand carving would take a long time to make something good enough to compete. Brian says he's going to buy his new house next month, probably on contingent of sales of the old house. Yeah, using the air tool, engraver tool, it would take a long time to carve out something for that. Green Bay Wacky's in the house. Where's Brenda? She's under this hat. That's where she is. We got some good channels in the house here. Green Bay Wacky does a lot of channel support, showing people how to upgrade their channels. And then I have to show him how to upgrade his. I got to get his head in the game. I'm Green Bay Wacky's coach. He does an awesome prayer stream on Thursday nights. So if you have need for prayer, you can go over there to his prayer stream and he'll put you on the list. They scroll it there on the screen. A lot of prayer warriors there. No, I didn't wear the shades tonight. They're around here somewhere. I don't know. I've spent so much time doing other things, I haven't had a chance to clean up this studio. So I don't know where things are. Matt wants to know, Magic 8 Ball, should I start a YouTube consulting business? Matt wants to know, should he start a YouTube consulting business? Magic 8 Ball, Magic 8 Ball. Tell us true. Should Matt start a YouTube consulting business? And the Magic 8 Ball says, my sources say no. There you go. You wanted to know, Matt. It'll tell you whether you want to know that answer or not. Catfish Jones in the house. Good to have Catfish in the house. Known by PJ the Fam is in the house. Good to have you in the house. What did I miss, Lulu? Somebody asked a question and I missed it. Oh, okay. Lulu asked a question. Will the magic potion work? Okay, I'm not sure what the magic potion is, but Magic 8 Ball should know. Lulu wants to know, will the magic potion work? Magic 8 Ball says. Well, let me turn it so I can read it. It's upside down. Most likely. There you go, Lulu. Most likely. Yes, you're right, Matt. It's a competitive space for doing that. Brian wants to know, Magic 8 Ball, is he going to get... I have to laugh at the question, Brian, because you'd be hard-pressed to get married after you die. Okay? But, all right. Will Brian get married before he dies? If he gets married after he dies, I'm going to attend that wedding. Will Brian get married before he dies? Okay. And Magic 8 Ball says, pretty hazy, try again. Alright, so we'll let Magic 8 Ball think on that. Come on, Magic 8 Ball. Shake you up a little bit. Come on. Magic 8 Ball wants to know. Brian wants to know, is he going to get married before he dies? I have to laugh at that. That's cute. Okay, is Brian going to get married before he dies? Yes. There you go, Brian. There you go. Yeah, sometimes you got to shake it, you know. You got to get its attention. Daddy always said you got to knock the mule down to get its attention. Well, you know, there you go. Gotta shake it a little bit. There you go, Brian. There's hope for you. Maybe you need to do a series on, and that is why I'm single. I've had people say that if I did that in the middle of the night, they'd set their clock to get up to listen to it. So, you know, there you go. But yeah, I got a lot of those stories. Yep, congrats, Brian. Now, it doesn't say what you're going to marry. So, good luck. But yeah, I thought we could talk about old TV shows. What's the oldest show that y'all remember watching on TV? You know, I mean, what's your first memories of TV shows? Because I can tell you some of mine. I remember my first memory of watching TV was with my grandpa. Me and him used to watch the wrestling, Saturday afternoon wrestling on TV. And they had the midget wrestling. We used to watch that. That's not politically correct anymore, but back in the day, Andy Griffith, yeah, Mr. Wizard, H.R. Puffin stuff. Remember Captain Kangaroo? Or if you're from the Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky area, you might remember Cincinnati Channel for Uncle Al. Uncle Al and Captain Wendy. Green Bay Wacky says the Brady Bunch, Gentle Ben, Star Trek. Yep, My Mother the Car and Mighty Mouse, the Jeffersons. Yep, Great Space Coaster. Now that one I'm not familiar with. MASH, Cagney and Lacey. So now I remember old shows like Hazel and I Married Joan and I Love Lucy and let's see, what's some of the other ones that we used to watch? Really old TV shows when I was a kid. The Ed Sullivan Show, Jackie Gleason Show, yeah, Green Acres, Gidget, yeah. Yeah, the first rocket lifting off. I was in grade school when they had the moon, you know, first landing on the moon. Mom let me stay up to watch that because it was history in the making, she said. My Favorite Martian, Family Affair, Father Knows Best, Hee Haw, Laverne and Shirley, My Three Sons. LeVar Burton, Geordie LaForge from Star Trek hosted The Reading Rainbow. Three's Company. Yeah. Leave It to Beaver. My Three Sons. Yeah, Three's Company, come and knock on my door, yeah. Now, I'm not familiar with Jiggle TV. We don't have that here. We have Laugh, L-A-F-F TV. Has a lot of old shows on it. Welcome Back, Kotter. Let's see. What's some of the other old shows? Gosh. Fred watches it more than I do, my cockatiel. You can probably hear him in there squawking. He wants to co-host tonight. Morgan Freeman used to be on the electric company next to Sesame Street. I wasn't aware of that. Western, Wanted Dead or Alive, Death Valley, Gunsmoke, The Rifleman, oh, Matt saying Chrissy from Three's Company would always bounce or jiggle. Am I right? Someone back me up. Let's see. What we could talk cartoons too. Top Cat. Does anybody remember Top Cat? And of course, you know, there's always the Bug Bunny and the Warner Brothers and, you know, all those cartoons. But I remember, I loved Top Cat and Mighty Mouse. And what's some, oh, of course, the Jetsons, Flintstones. Yeah, Suzanne Summers got fired for wanting too much money on Three's Company. Well, yeah, but she went on to make a lot of money doing other things, so, you know. And she's still out there doing stuff, too. Tom and Jerry, He-Man, Woody Woodpecker, yeah. Torch Turtle, now, that one's one I don't know. Or Touche Turtle, I guess that is. Now I get off here and I'll think of about 1 million of them that I didn't throw out there. Third Rock from the Sun, anybody remember that? I mean, that's not extremely old, but it's not on TV anymore. Amos and Andy. Now, there's one that's not politically correct, but yeah, watched that when I was a kid a lot. Yeah. He-Man is without a doubt the most homoerotic show of all time. And then there's G.I. Joe, Huckleberry Hound. Yeah. Wally Gator. Augie and Doogie. Or Doggy. Augie and Doggy. Trying to think of the name of the one. Gumby and Pokey. That was the name of it. Gumby and Pokey. Anybody remember them? Magilla Gorilla. Yeah, I remember that one. Schoolhouse Rock. Now, say those shows were like for stuff that my kids would watch. Fantasy Island. Yeah, I remember Fantasy Island. There was a Western. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I enjoyed it immensely. And I can't think of the name of it, and I don't remember what the actor's name. I could see it in my mind, you know, my mind's eye, but gosh. He was like a gambler, but he solved crimes, and he was on a train a lot. They showed him on the train all the time. He had a sidekick. Gosh, I can't remember the name of that show. Oh, Heckle and Jekyll were the crows. Yeah, Quick Draw McGraw. Taft, I'm not familiar with. Yep, Maverick. I always enjoyed watching Gunsmoke because I love Festus. I thought Festus was a hoot. And then there was Hee Haw. Before Hee Haw was the Midwestern Hayride. And Grand Ole Opry. Of course, Grand Ole Opry was more of a radio show. Gilligan's Island. See, they don't make shows like that on TV anymore. It's always some shoot-'em-up drama. Incredible Hulk, yeah, with Lou Ferrigno. Oh, what was the other show that Lou was on? He played the next-door neighbor to the Heffernans. Does anybody remember the name of that one? Carrie was the wife's name, and gosh, can't think of the name of the guy that was her husband. And Lou Ferrigno was the next door neighbor. Carrie's dad lived in her basement. Anybody remember the name of that one? Catfish is going for soda. Bring back some for all of us. The Dukes of Hazzard, yeah. What was the name of the show with the Heffernans where Lou Ferrigno was the next door neighbor? King of Queens. There you go. As your muse got it. Yep. I Spy. Oh, yeah, Alice. Alice was the show with the actress that was always saying, "Kiss my grits." Yep. Oh, we got Wyatt Gaming in the house. That 4 always throws me when I see that because I want to say 4 Gaming. Yep. And then there was Mary Tyler Moore with Rhoda Morgenstein was her upstairs neighbor, and Phyllis Leachman played the landlady. And then there was a spin-off of that, but I can't remember the name of it, where Phyllis Leachman was the star of that show. Anybody remember the name of that one? She was in a rocking chair, and she had a cane. She was a cantankerous old bat. I liked that show, but it wasn't on long. It was a very short-lived show. Yeah, Rhoda was a spin-off from Mary Tyler Moore. But there was one where Phyllis Leachman was the prime character, and she was in a rocking chair, cantankerous with a cane. She wanted to whack people with a cane all the time. I don't remember what the name of that was, but I thought that was a good show. And the ones I always think are good are the ones they kill first. And then the Roseanne show, you know, I mean, I know that there's a big question mark hanging over that right now because of all the drama and stuff that ensued with her tweet, but still, you know, it made a big mark on television. It's a shame they can't separate her actress life from what she does in her personal life. Technetic Beats is out there. Good to have you in the house playing your music. Thought you recognized that tune. I'm going to scroll back up through here. I don't think I missed anybody when my brain was going through brain freeze thinking about these shows. Nope, looks like I caught everybody. I like to call everybody out when I see them come in the house. Man, I'm trying to think what all other shows we watched on TV. When I was a kid, I didn't get to watch a whole lot of TV because there was so much farm work and stuff that had to be done. I come home from school and I had to have housework to do and supper to do and then school work to do, and by the time I got done with all that, it was time to go to bed. But there was Saturday night and Sunday night shows we watched. Hee Haw was on Saturday nights, and I think Gunsmoke was on. And then on Sunday night you had Jackie Gleason and the Ed Sullivan Show. Yeah, the Beverly Hillbillies. That's a good one. Yeah. Yep. Then came Bronson or Billy Jack. Yeah, remember those. Brian on the Go's in the house. Good to have you in there, Brian. We're talking about old TV shows tonight. Batman. Yeah, remember Batman? That used to be on when I get home from school. And while I was doing housework and stuff, maybe I could catch a little bit of Batman. As long as I didn't let it distract me from getting my work done. Ooh, Technitic Beats says that he wish he had brain freeze. He's at work. It's over 100 degrees in there. Wow. Yeah, Dennis the Menace and Bewitched and the Addams Family and the Munsters. I mean, you can't say Addams Family without thinking about the Munsters, too. Yep. Yep, they don't do shows like them anymore. Crazy stupid, the things that they have canceled and, the stuff that they brought on in their place. I Dream of Jeannie, yeah. Yeah, if you think of I Dream of Jeannie, then of course you have to think about Bewitched. The Dick Van Dyke Show was another good one. Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore was kind of a spin-off from the Dick Van Dyke Show. Charlie's Angels. Bonanza. Oh, yeah. I used to watch a lot of Bonanza. So the names of the brothers. There's Little Joe and Hoss. And I don't remember the other two. There was 4 brothers total. The Monkees and the Partridge Family. Oh, Stoner, you can go back as far as you want to. I mean, shoot, I took them clear back to I Married Joan and, let's see. I think it's some of them other shows. I Love Lucy. It was in black and white back in the day. Maude and Soap. Yep, the Jetsons. Adam 12. Oh, you're talking about the brothers. Yeah, Adam was another one. Well, there was a 4th brother, but the 4th one was out. But they used to talk about him all the time. I can't remember what his name was. And then there was Paul. Rockford Files, yeah. Now, the guy that played in the Rockford Files was the one that was in the Western that I was talking about. I can't remember the name of. And his sidekick's name was Artemis in the Western. Oh, George Burns' show. Yeah. But now, when she'd just say goodnight, a lot of people would say that Gracie would say, "Good night, Gracie." She didn't. She'd always say good night. So, that was a misnomer with the George Burns show. Yeah. Mary Hartman. Soap was a spin-off of Mary Hartman. James Garner. Yeah, but what was the name? Yeah, Maverick. Yeah. Maverick, James Garner, Rockford Files. Yeah. Maverick was what I was trying to think of. Carol Burnett's show. Green Acres. Yeah. I used to tease my husband about being Eddie Arnold from Green Acres, because when we moved out to the farm, he's a city slicker, and he used to get up on the farm mall, and he always was wearing a white dress shirt with his you know, what do they call them? Sansine slacks or whatever they're called. You know, dress slacks. I wasn't wearing blue jeans or nothing, you know. Get up on that tractor to move it wearing that white shirt. And I said, I swear you're Eddie Arnold from Green Acres. Yeah, Dallas. Yeah. Green Bay Wacky says the Wild West with Robert Conrad was with Artemis. Oh, okay. Well, then who was the sidekick for James Garner? Who was James Garner's sidekick? As Your Muse is talking about MacGyver. Yeah. Flicka. Leave It to Beaver. Get Smart. Hogan's Heroes. Rin Tin Tin. Yep. Jogging a lot of memories with those old shows. Ozzie and Harriet, My Three Sons, Father Knows Best, The Danny Thomas Show. Yeah, there's a good one. Flipper. Mm-hmm. Yep. James Gardner. I think you mean James Garner. But that wasn't the name of a show. He was an actor in some shows. Rawhide, yep. Head 'em up, move 'em out. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, yep. Rockford Files had Angel, kind of his sidekick, but not totally. Yeah, I'm thinking about, not Rockford Files, but the Western. There was a Western, and I can see the guy's face in my mind as clear as day. I can't think of his name or his actor name. Either one. Sea Hunt, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Land of the Giants, Lost in Space. Bob Newhart, there you go. Now there's a show. Yeah. Baywatch. I think it was called Baywatch, but yeah. It should have been called Baywatch. Yeah. The Twilight Zone. Yeah. Star Trek. The Wild West had Jim West and Artemis. That's it. That's exactly what I was trying to think of. The Wild West had Jim West and Artemis, and they had their office on a train, yep, and high-tech gadgets. Exactly. That's it. Yep, Green Bay got it. Yep, that's what I was trying to think of. The Wild West. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, when it's spelled out for me, See, I've had to let some of those things go so I could put other things in. It just gets too crowded with that only one brain cell in my head. Yep, we said the Brady Bunch and the Partridge Family. Those were mentioned earlier. Well, the Honeymooners, that was part of the Jackie Gleason show. Yeah. Brian says he binge watches the Rockford Files all the time. Yep. Drew Carey Show. There's an old one. Yep, the Addams Family, that was thrown out there. The Addams Family and the Munsters. Gotta know the Munsters if you talk Addams Family. Yep, Father Knows Best was thrown out there. Yep. And did you know that the actor that played Father on Father Knows Best was an alcoholic? They had a lot of problems with him on that show because of his alcoholism. Happy Days, yep. Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley. And Joni Loves Chachi. All spin-offs of each other. Chips, I Love Lucy, and then there was the Lucille Ball Show. Dear John, yeah, there's one we haven't seen in a long time. MASH. And now we have YouTube. Is somebody going to be sitting around in another 40, 50 years saying, hey, remember the old shows that was on YouTube? Can you name me off some of the channels? Yeah, the Waltons. Rolling Homestead and Wild Edibles in Wisconsin's in the house. Good to have you in there. Yeah, we're talking old TV shows. We've been reminiscing on the shows that ain't on TV anymore that we used to watch when we was kids, or, you know, as we've been growing up, that they aren't on TV anymore. Little House on the Prairie. There's another one. Yep. A lot of good old shows that just went by the wayside so that they could put this foolishness on TV that they got on today. I don't like any of the new shows that's on. I won't watch none of it. If it wasn't for the Oldies channel or PBS, my TV wouldn't get turned on at all. Marcus Welby, MD. Yep. Yep, and then there was the old soap operas too. You know, they don't have hardly any of them on anymore. I think the only one that's still on is Young and the Restless. And I don't watch that. I always liked The Guiding Light. My granny wouldn't miss General Hospital for all the tea in China. She loved General Hospital. The Odd Couple, yep. With Oscar and Felix. Old Charlie's Angels, yep. What's interesting to me is to watch some of these old shows and know that a lot of the characters in those shows aren't around anymore. They've gone to the other side. And there they are, immortalized on film. Yep, the Waltons. Not John Boy. Not Mary Ellen, not Grandma, not Grandpa, not Mama, not Daddy. Yeah, welcome back, Cotter. Yeah, we have Comcast TV here at where I'm at, and I've just got the basic cable because I don't like none of the other stuff that's on TV, and that, Lord have mercy, they'll get an oldies channel on that I like, Fred likes, you know, and Fred's very particular about his TV shows too. So we'll get used to it, and then all of a sudden they delete it. And then it'll be a month or two later, they'll come on with a new oldie TV channel. They don't even tell you they're coming out with it. You got to scroll through everything to find the oldie channel that they put on. And it doesn't have the same shows on it. It's aggravating. Yep, Raising Hope, the Cloris Leachman Show. No, that's not the one I was thinking of. There was another one, and it was right after Rhoda was taken off. And it was a very short-lived show. Raising Hope was on for a while. I don't remember what her actress name was on the show, but she sat in a rocking chair all the time. She's always rocking, and when she'd get up out of that rocking chair, she had a cane, and she'd whack people with the cane and just give them hell. Squad 51, Car 54, Where Are You? Was another old show. You all probably don't even remember that one. Medical center, emergency. Fat Albert, yeah. WKRP. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that I've missed that one. Yeah, I love WKRP. I've seen every episode, I don't know how many times, WKRP. Loved it. Because WKRP came on about the time that I was actually working in offices, and I could see myself working for WKRP. Brian on the Go says that he still has a bunch of Rockford files on an old jump drive and still watches them. Taxi, yeah. Touched by an Angel. There was another show called Heaven Can Wait. Anybody remember Heaven Can Wait? Eight is Enough. Webster. Shoot. See the characters, but I can't get the names. All in the Family. The Jeffersons. Sanford and Son. What's Happening? Bobby Sprinkle's in the house. Good to have you in there, Bobby. Scarecrow and Mrs. King. What's her name? Medicine Woman. I can't think of what her name was on there. Medicine Woman. Dr. Quinn, that's it. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Yep, My Three Sons. A lot of times I'll just go to Google and I will Google old television shows and look up the actors that were on those shows and see what are they doing now. A lot of them are gone, but some of the younger ones are still around, still doing things. Night Court. There's one nobody named. Night Court. Bits of Real Panther. Good to have you in there. Yep, everybody smack that like button for me. Mr. Belvedere. Yep. What was the name of the show that they had the little girl that was a robot? Husband and wife had a son, and the husband worked on robots and things, and he made the little girl, and she was a robot. Yeah, Barney Miller, Taxi, Sanford and Son, MASH. Mr. Ed, Pink Panther, the cartoon, yeah. Oh, Bits of Panzer's hitting the like just because of the hat. My big old garden hat. Yep, you have to smash that like button, Green Bay. I'd do it for you. The Gallant Ones, that one I'm not familiar with. The Lone Ranger, yes, I remember the Lone Ranger and Tonto. Yep. I mean, I can even hear the theme song to that show with the little girl. Oh, gosh. Exploring with CF's in the house. We're talking old TV shows tonight. Bits of Panther has to go do the editing. I understand that. I hear you. I got to learn some editing, so, hey. Thanks for dropping in. See, the love bug. Yeah, the little girl's name was Vicky. Small Wonders. That's what it was. Small Wonders. With a little robot girl. Well, and now that's... Small Wonders isn't that old. I mean, you know, comparatively speaking to some of the ones that we talked about. It was on probably back in the early 80s. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was a movie. I don't think it was ever a TV show, but yeah, it's an old one. The Wonder Years, yeah. Yeah. See, to me, the 80s isn't all that long ago. I was thinking about something the other day. I forget what it was now, but I was thinking about it. I thought, how long ago was that? And I got to thinking, I thought, oh my Lord, that was 35 years ago. And it doesn't seem that long ago to me. Yeah, Seventh Heaven is another one. Mm-hmm. BJ and the Bear, yeah. Yeah, CF agrees that 80s aren't that far back. To the ones that was born in the 80s, they may be thinking that, yeah, that was a long time ago, but believe me. Don't blink, because next thing you know, it's going to be 2040. Yeah, Mr. Ed, the Talking Horse. Highway to Heaven. Okay, PJ. Glad you dropped in. Known by PJ the Fam. Leaving the house. Dukes of Hazzard. The Boss Hog. Hawaii 5-0 original. Yeah, I haven't even watched the new one. I can't bring myself to watch because I'm used to the old Hawaii 5-0. What about Kojak? Nobody mentioned Kojak. Bobby Sprinkle says he's got BJ and the Bear in DVDs. Dallas. What was the spin-off of Dallas? What was the name of that one? There was another one of those that came on just right after Dallas went off. That was a weekly series. Lobo. The original Hawaii 5-0 is old. It's not as old as me. The Rookies. Falcon Crest. Yeah, Falcon Crest. That was the spin-off from Dallas, yeah. Fantasy Island. Gosh, I was just thinking of one and it slipped out of my head. Was that one Adam 12 that that had Joe Friday? Yep, Love Boat, Cagney and Lacey, Miami Vice. Boy, I tell you what, this is a trip down memory lane, ain't it? Remember Joe Friday from Adam 12, and he used to say, he'd be questioning the victim, and he'd say, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. Dragnet. Yeah, Dragnet. Knots Landing. Manimal, Hard Time on Planet Earth. Now, those two I've not heard of. Dragnet, yes, I know about Dragnet. Yep, I missed them all. No, this stuff they have on TV is just horrible. I need to redo these old shows. Melrose Place, yeah. Simon and Simon, Magnum P.I. Now, I like Magnum P.I. Yep, Hawaii 5-0. And the cartoons. Lord have mercy. they have butchered the cartoons. Bring back Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and Top Cat, Mighty Mouse. This stuff they have on today. I haven't even tried to watch a cartoon in a long time, but man, last time I turned them on, I thought, you know, it was like Saturday morning, you know, I thought, hey, you know, we'll catch the Saturday morning cartoons. Let's see what oh, Lord have mercy. That stuff was awful. Yep. Need a time machine. Wayback Machine. Remember, there's a good one. Remember the Fractured Fairy Tales? You know, and they had Sherman and Peabody. And they go in the Wayback Machine. Bosom Buddies, yep. There's another old one. Tom Hanks was in that. That was back when he was starting his career. It would be interesting to talk to some of the old actors from, you know, some of these old TV shows, if you could find, you know, some of them around. You know, there's still a few around. They may have played children on the shows, but, you know, to actually just have an interview with them, you know, talk about how things have changed since they were in the limelight, so to speak, when they were doing their shows and considered stars. Columbo, oh yeah, loved Columbo. Give Me a Break, yeah. He-Man, G.I. Joe, Gummy Bears, Kugrins, Dragons, The Real Ghostbusters, Super Friends, Facts of Life. Yeah, Facts of Life. With Tootie. And, gosh, can't think of the other one's names on there. Mrs. What's-Her-Name was the head of the... Yeah, there was Blair. Yeah, Joe was one of the girls. What was Mrs. Hoosie? What was her name? Anybody remember what her name was? Hello, Hell Kitten. Good to have you in there. We're talking about old TV shows. No, it wasn't Mrs. Hooper. Somebody says it, I don't know what it was. Mrs. Garrett. There you go. Brian on the Go got it. Mrs. Garrett. Yeah. And then my three sons. There was Chip. He was the middle one. Ernie was the youngest one. He was the adopted one. What was the older one's name? He got married on the show. Robbie. That was it. Robbie. Robbie, Chip, and Ernie. Different Strokes, Chips. There was Uncle Charlie on My Three Sons, too. And then the dad got married on the show, and what was his wife's name? And Katie was Robbie's wife's name. Yeah, My Three Sons is back from the 60s. Yep. And I got news for you. 60s wasn't really all that long ago either. Donna Reed Show. Yeah. Brady Bunch. Let's see. There was Marcia, Jan, Cindy, Greg, Peter, and Bobby. And Alice was the maid. Yep, we talked about Alice with Flo and the Eat My Grits or Kiss My Grits. Well, Kiss My Grits, wasn't it? 60s was a half century ago. Well, it was, but it wasn't that long ago. I mean, in my mind, I can go back there, boom, I'm there. I'm in the 60s. So, you know, it wasn't that long ago. Yep, Green Acres had to climb the phone pole to answer the telephone. Mercy. Try it again. HSFL Paranormal is in the house. Glad you stopped in. We got Magic 8 Ball here. We can ask Magic 8 Ball questions if you got questions for it. It has to be kind of a yes or no question, because Magic 8 Ball doesn't have a whole lot of room there on the screen to answer you, so yes or no questions. And we're playing trivia, sort of. We're talking about old TV shows. Beverly Hillbillies. I loved Beverly Hillbillies. Oh my goodness. And it broke my heart when they took it off TV, but I loved the Beverly Hillbillies. Jed and Granny and Jethro and Ellie Mae. And then you had the banker that lived next door, Mr. Drysdale and Mrs. Drysdale. And you had Miss Jane, the secretary. And every once in a while, they would have characters come on the show like, Blatt and Scruggs, and play some bluegrass music. Call me John, or you want me to call you John? I think you want me to call you John, because I never heard of a TV show called Call Me John. So we call you John. Jethro, yep. He did his ciphering. His gazentas. 2 goes into 2, 1. 2 goes into 4, 2. Yep, the Addams Family. Alf, yeah, there's an old one, Alf. Barnaby Jones, Hill Street Blues. Okay. I will call you John. Good to have you in there, John. We're just having a little fun here on Monday night. We like to reminisce. Sometimes we actually play trivia. I got trivia cards here, but everybody says my questions are too hard. So I thought I'd jog everybody's memory with old TV shows, because almost everybody knows something about some old TV shows. Saturday Night Live, when it was still funny. Exactly, CF. Exactly. Yep, I'm with you there. I am with you there. Yep, Rosanna Dana. And Jane Curtin was on there. And John Belushi. Oh, yeah, those was the days. Yep, Gilligan's Island. I don't think I ever missed an episode of Gilligan's Island. I think I've seen every one of them several times. Mad TV. Yeah, see, and I'm not the kind of person that'll watch stuff over and over again. I mean, once I've seen it, you know. But the old TV shows, oh yeah, I'll watch that stuff repeatedly. How about, you remember Grace Under Fire? Anybody remember that one? That was a good show. It wasn't on nearly long enough either. She's on several seasons, but it wasn't, you know, it should have been a much longer playing show. She was great. Yeah, I Love Lucy and MASH. Battlestar Galactica. Now, that, I don't remember that being a TV show. Wasn't that a movie? Judging Amy. Yep. Car 54, Where Are You? Saw that one a lot. We was talking about that earlier with, you know, and then there was Amos and Andy was on about the same time frame that was. Those are all black and whites, you know, back in the day. Moonlighting, Kung Fu. Oh, Battlestar was 3 series? What era was that? What time era? 70s and 80s. 70s and 80s, I was busy. I didn't watch a whole lot of TV in this, probably late 70s. Remember the 70s show? Now, I've seen every one of those I don't know how many times. Battlestar Galactica. Nope, I don't remember Battlestar Galactica at all. Star Trek, I remember that. Stargate SG-1, yes. Farscape. Wasn't there one called Voyager in that fantasy series? And then there was one where they didn't think it was going to work. And they started it out like in the middle of the series. And it took off. And so then they had to show what was actually, you know, the beginning of it that they never showed in the first place. I can't remember what the name of that one was. But I loved it. And usually, you know, with most of that fantasy stuff, I could take it or leave it. But, oh, that one, I loved it. Had the guy's sister was kind of loopy. But in the very end of the whole thing, she turned out to be like the star character. She whooped the far out of anybody that messed with her. And everybody in the galaxy was trying to find her. Can't think of what the name of that one was. It had kind of odd, you know, wasn't something that you really expected to be named. Yeah, but there's a lot of controversy about it because they started it in the middle of the storyline and had to go back and show the beginning of it after they'd showed the end. I want to say Fire something or something Fire. I'm not sure that's right. Yeah, Matt says he can't remember it. And then it was on the big screen too. I remember going to a movie theater and watching it. Tech War, Briscoe County Jr., Firefly, and Aaron Gray, and Spandex, and Buck Rogers. My favorite Martian. Oh, yeah. Firefly. Yep, CF got it. Firefly. Yeah, I think of Firefly as being like some kind of a nature series or something, but no, that was the name of that show, and it was good. Yep. Firefly. But yeah, My Favorite Martian. I remember watching that a lot as a kid on the old black and white TV. Mork and Mindy. Yeah, the movie was called Serenity, after the ship. Yeah. Yep. Night Court. The judge's name was Harry Stone. The A-Team, yeah. I pity the fool. Mr. T. Yeah, CF says the series was Firefly due to the type of ship. Firefly was a class freighter. But see, when my mind thinks Firefly, I think nature stuff, you know. I think Fireflies in the backyard, you know, hot summer night. I don't think about a spaceship. So that's why it's hard for me to equate that with the name of that show. It's just the way my mind works. Mr. T is light. I mean, you know, you have to admire a guy that has guts enough back in the day when, you know, the mohawk was not something considered to be a cool hairdo, would wear that with a bunch of chains around his neck and go on TV, you know, hey, dare to be different. It worked. Yep, they canceled a lot of really good shows. Yep. That's why these old TV channels are the ones that's working the best, I think, because, hey, they got the good shows on them. All the old stuff that we enjoy, that we've watched for years, and we want to see them again. We enjoyed them then, we enjoy them now. Knots Landing. Love Boat. Love, exciting and new. Yeah. There was an awesome show that was called Pushing Daisies. Yep. I remember that one. Helgen says she's trying to remember all the ones that her mom watched. Oh, Lord. I could probably be your grandma. Firefly fans are called brown coats. Is that because of the show, or because of the coats they wore on the show, or brown? Showtime series about from Reapers, Grim Reapers. See, now I don't know that one because I don't watch Showtime. Yeah, I am. Bless your little heart. Oh, you are a sweet young thing. 30 years old. Matt says he's got to jump off, but hey, Matt, it was great for you to come in here. I'm glad you took part in all this silliness that we've done tonight. You have a good evening. The main character wore a brown trench coat. Yeah. Oh, honey. I'm retired and on Social Security. Believe me. But thank you. I take that as a compliment. After Captain Malcolm Reynolds' coat color in The War on Firefly. Brown coats. Okay. Later, Matt. Thanks, sweetie, for modding. She says both of her grandmas are over 80. Well, I bet you're much younger, Grandma. But... oh, the women in your family got started a little later, I guess, than I did. Oh, you sweet children. John says he's 25. CF says he's the god of sci-fi. Man Cave is a sci-fi mecca. Now, I'm not, you know, hog wild pig crazy over sci-fi, but I love Firefly. And there's a few episodes of some of the other stuff that I enjoyed. I think the one they call, I believe it was called Voyager. I don't know. It had the blue lady in it. Since you know all those shows, you know which one I'm talking about. The one with the blue lady, I like that one. Knight Rider, Tom and Jerry, Little House on the Prairie, The Waltons, The A-Team. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we was talking about laughing a while ago. You know, sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me. Knight Rider. Now, I didn't say Knight Rider 2000, so I don't know. I'll have to take your word for it. Well, yeah, I'm around your mother's age, okay? Let's just say that I'm around your mother's age. But if your mother started a little bit younger... Wasn't Kit the name of the car? Knight Rider's car? Yeah, but it is what it is, Hellkitten. Yep, Kit. That's what I thought. What's that stand for? Because KIT is an acronym. Everybody running to Google. His nemesis was car. What's KIT stand for? Let's see how big a fan you are. Then we could talk Star Trek a while about all the different series of Star Treks they've had out. And who's all the captains of the Star Trek. I don't even know them all. Yeah, Hasselhoff was good when he was on The Young and the Restless. I watched it when he was on it, but when he left the show, I stopped watching it. I liked watching him. I'd like to have him as my gardener. I can just sit in the air conditioning, look out the window, and watch him all day. Knight Industries 2000. There you go. You Googled it, didn't you, honey? I don't care how you got it, as long as you got it. Didn't Hasselhoff have some controversy about him? At some point, didn't he do something goofy or something? Lincoln Central Coins is in the house. Hey, we're talking old TV shows, cartoons, you know, all the old TV shows. We kind of got off on this sci-fi thing. CF's a sci-fi junkie, and yeah, there was Captain Kirk. I know he was the first one, and then there was the bald guy. I don't remember his name, Captain Baldy. And then there was Captain Jane, the female. Don't they all do something goofy? Eventually. But some of them don't get caught. Yeah, Picard. That's the one I was thinking of, Captain Baldy. And then there was Captain Jane. Janeway, yeah. Now, the other two I'm not familiar with because I didn't see them all. I haven't seen all the Star Trek stuff, but I think I've seen all the ones with Picard and all the ones with Janeway in them, but the other two I've not seen, Cisco and Archer. Didn't they come out with a new one here? Oh gosh, it's been within the last year, a new Star Trek, and then it went kaput? You know more about that than me, CF. I watched like the first episode of it, and I think they had a couple more episodes after that, and then the show went belly up. Christopher Pike was before Kirk. Now, those I probably haven't seen. That doesn't ring any bell at all. Oh, there is a new one on CBS. Okay, so maybe it didn't go kaput. I heard after like 2 or 3 episodes of it that it went down the tube, so maybe I'm misinformed. Oh, the new one's bad. Okay. And it's been renewed. Oh, Brian, it's good to have you in here. I'm glad you stopped in too. I hope you enjoyed reminiscing. Talking about the old days, the old shows. Oh man, the old TVs. Remember the old TVs? We didn't have outside antennas. We had rabbit ears on the TV, and they was always wrapped up with a bunch of aluminum foil, and they had coat hangers stuck in them, and sometimes you'd have to go over and take a hold of them, you know, and then about the time you took a hold of them, the picture would actually kick on, so you had to stand there the whole time. You couldn't watch the TV because you had to hang on to the rabbit ears to make the show up on TV, and Hellkitten says, before I was a thought. Yep, there you go. You wasn't even a glimmer in your daddy's eye. Oh, it's streaming only? Okay. Well, that's why I never get it. Because I don't do any of that streaming TV show stuff. Brian on the Go says, bye guys, stop and leave a comment. I answer them all. Good to have you in there, Brian. The Orville is much better than Star Trek Discovery. Now, I've never heard of Orville. But if it's new stuff, that's why. Because I just don't follow any of the new stuff at all. Most everything I watch is on YouTube. Just the free YouTube, not the YouTube TV Red, you know, whatever they call all that, you know, pay for stuff. It's just because I can amuse myself with YouTube hours on end. There's all kinds of stuff on YouTube to watch. But yeah, I think we named about all of them. But now, as soon as I get off of here, I'll think of a dozen more. If y'all want to, what you can do, if you think of more shows, write them down. Bring them to the show next week. We'll talk about them again. You know, all the ones that we forgot to mention. That'd be funny. Say, okay, now last week, this one wasn't discussed, this one wasn't discussed. You know, we'll talk about all the ones we forgot. Nighthawk. Now, that's ringing a bell, but I don't really remember the show. I remember the name. I don't remember Automan. Automan ain't ringing a bell at all. But I think, you know, we put a hurting on this topic tonight. But, you know, if you think of more, bring them back next week, you know. We'll talk about them some more. But like I say, I'm going to be doing some new things with the channel this week. So don't go into shock and say, where's your crafting videos, you know. Because I'm going to do some new things. We'll see if it takes off, you know. If people watch it, you know, I'll keep doing it. And if they don't watch it, well, you know, we'll do something different. But every once in a while, I think you need to shake your channel up a little bit. Do something a little bit different. And, you know, people seem to enjoy some of my stories and my humor. So, you know, this is a chance for me to do some shorties, you know, and see if you guys enjoy some of this stuff. She's going UHF, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I think we're going to shut her down. We've been at this an hour and 20 minutes. And, you know, I hope that y'all have a great week. You know, keep yourself occupied. And if you got any questions for me, or if you got suggestions and stuff that you'd like to see me do on this stream, or, you know, on my channel, you know, but feel free, drop me a message, you know, send me a comment. I'm easy to find. Follow me on Twitter, drop me a message over there. So, with all that being said, I guess there's only one thing left to say. Brenda's crafty. Be like Brenda. Bye, y'all.